on, folks. Monday. Coach Saban, Crimson Tide trying to lock up the #1 class in the country for 2023. National Signing Day, Wednesday. You're rocking and rolling right now. Hottest show on the streets. Got that fire talking Crimson Tide football in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen M. Smith, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy to have all you guys checking us out. Christmas holiday season. Christmas coming up this weekend. Hope everybody enjoys that right there. Spending time with family and friends. The Sugar Bowl. New Year's Eve. Bama, Kansas State. Can't wait for that. 11 a.m. Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. We got you covered right here. Talking Bama football. We're bringing you the show from the Magic City of Birmingham. Streaming this to you via YouTube. Speaking of the channel, go ahead right now. Hit that subscribe button. Get every friend, family member, diehard Bama fan, casual Bama fan, consumer of Alabama football to subscribe as well, because if you love the content, they will feel it as well. Also, hit that like button. Give us a like on the show. Run those likes up. Trying to get this 50 likes right now. Appreciate the support from you guys. That daily super chat goal, $100 daily. Super chat going $100 right there. All donations appreciated and valued. Gotta hear from you tonight, the Bama fans. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358. Number to call in. Let your voice be made known. 205-448-1358. One more time, 205-448-1358. Want to hear from you. But we get into this here, Eli, and that is today. Got a chance to hear from Will Anderson and Bryce Young as to why they chose not to opt out, but to play in the Sugar Bowl. Now, we heard last week from Nick Saban. We heard last week from ESPN's Chris Lowe and Pete Thamel that both Anderson and Young would not opt out. They would both play. As a matter of fact, no player chose to opt out. Everybody's all in terms of the guys at the program right now to participate in the All-State Sugar Bowl against Kansas State. But primarily, Will and Bryce spoke today as to why they decided to play. And in a NIL transfer portal culture, it's just so refreshing. And I understand we're in a day and age where people have the choice to do what they want, right? They have a choice to do whatever they want to do. They've got all this power. I kind of equate today's college football to the NBA. In the NBA, players have more power now than ever. Players can team up, be buddy-buddy, form super teams. Now, they weren't doing that back in Michael Jordan days, but they're doing it now. You got NBA players that, if they're not getting the Reebok or Nike or Adidas or Under Armour shoe deal they want, they're holding out of camps, training camps, all that type of stuff right there. You got NBA players that can control the amount of money going into their contracts. I've never seen this before. If an NBA player doesn't vibe with a coach, that coach is fired. That's a player of a coach. If LeBron James right now was to go to the Lakers front office and say, "Hey, I can't stand this coach. I ain't sitting right with this coach. This coach don't vibe with me." The Laker front office will go right to that coach and be like, "Look, man, it's either we lose you or we lose LeBron. We ain't finna lose LeBron, so bye, coach." The coach gets fired. So it's the same thing looking at college football right here. The players have the power kind of with these NIL deals and the transfer portal, being able to control your own destiny, so to speak. But in this day and age, it's just good to see, refreshing to see these two, Will and Bryce, competitive, wanting to be with their teammates, wanting to be with their brothers, wanting to be on the same field, giving their all in their final football game for the University of Alabama. It's very awesome seeing this. And, Will Anderson said it himself. He's not concerned about injuries or none of that. He's out here to play with his brothers. And we talked about it. I got God on my side. I got faith on my side. If I played like I was scared to get hurt, then from my freshman year to now, I would not have accomplished anything what I have accomplished. I'm out here to play fast. I'm out here to have fun. If the chips fall where they may, I'm out here to be with my brothers, my boys, my teammates. You got to respect that from a two-time permanent team captain. That was Will Anderson. Bryce Young basically said the same thing. I'm out here with my brothers, my teammates, a chance to do this one final time. We're locked into each other. We're bought into each other. We're holding each other accountable. This is what I wanted. One final time to be out here with my guys. And Saban spoke on how proud he was of both young men on Friday of last week. And it kind of makes you wonder, has Bryce and Will set up a new precedent for players in the future in terms of players that could be potential top 5 picks in a draft, but they choose to, instead of prepare for the NFL draft, the NFL combine and whatnot, after seeing what Bryce and Will have done, will they choose to play their respective bowl game? Bryce and Will may have just set up a new precedent in college football, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. But this is cool, right? I mean, this is cool. This is cool. Seeing both of these two talk about, this is why I chose to play. This is why I chose not to opt out. And their teammates that could have opted out, guys like Jordan Battle, DeMarco Hellams, Brian Branch, Jahmyr Gibbs, Cameron Latu, DJ Dale, among others, the guys that could have opted out. They said, you know what? If Will and Bryce are going to play, we're going to play too. We're all going to be in this together and try to finish off the season strong, get this program in the top 3 to top 5 in the final AP poll, and then get this group jump-started for, or get the next group jump-started for spring of 2023 and the following season in the fall. So, happy to hear the reason why Bryce and Will decided to not opt out but to play in the Sugar Bowl. But we take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting started. Upon our return, we hit those phone lines. Light us up. We're taking your calls, your thoughts, your chats, your conversations. Let us hear you right after this.
Nine players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, folks, we're back into the action from the break on a Monday. Getting this week started off for you correctly in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen M. Smith. Touchdown, Alabama Magazine. Happy to join you guys right here. Wednesday, we got National Signing Day. Crimson Tide trying to lock up the #1 class in the country. It'll be fun having the signing day show for you guys Wednesday with Justin Smith, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for TDA. But right now, we go to the phone lines to grab your calls. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. How we feeling? How we doing today? State your name and where you calling from?
Hey, man, how you doing today? This is Alan X from Alexander City. How you doing, man?
Doing great, Alex. And yourself?
I'm doing just great, man. Love your show, man. Love what you're doing. Just got a couple of things I want to say. First of all, I agree with everyone about our offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien. I understand that his contract's up in February and stuff, but I just want to point out something that, Nick Saban said in one of his press conferences. I'm sure you're aware of it because, you're pretty smart. You keep up with him. I just remember Nick Saban saying that, all the calls come through him. And so while Bill O'Brien does deserve some blame for some things, I think some things may be a little not obvious. In other words, everybody can look at the game and say, hey, that's call, that ain't right, or we don't agree with that call and this or that. But this, Stephen, it comes down to players' execution. And so I believe this. If Nick Saban is going to let him go, after his contract up in February, then I just really believe that it's more than just the play calling because, like Nick Saban said, all the calls come through him, and he can veto anything. If he say pass, Nick Saban said, no, we're going to run. If Bill O'Brien called run, Nick Saban can say, no, we're going to pass. And so I'm saying this. You got to give Nick Saban credit because if he lets him go, that means it's a little more to it than what we obviously see. What you think about that?
I can see that. I mean, I can see that. We've seen throughout the season, Alan, that even Coach Saban himself has looked frustrated at the offense. There have been moments where he's been on the sideline and you can visibly see him mouthing some words, but I can't mouth right now because he is visibly frustrated at, the inconsistent offense, the unbalance of the offense, and just he's looking at Bryce Young as if to say, Bryce Young shouldn't have to work this hard for something. Like, at some point, when is the offense going to be in a smooth flow for him? It's like all season, Bryce has had to overcompensate for everything.
That is 100% true. And I tell you something else, too. Now, I think you'll agree with this. The talent we had on the Alabama football team on 2020, all that talent that went to the NFL and then the people that came back and stuff. Now, if we had that talent on this team, and this team failed to reach the playoffs or national championship, then we can honestly say something. We can say, hey, wait a minute, all that talent and stuff, and we didn't get the job done. What happened? What's going on? But we don't have that talent on this team. Even though it's a good team, true enough, we don't have that kind of talent. So long story short, we can get the best offensive coordinator or the best defensive coordinator, but it comes down to a couple of things. It comes down to players and depth. If we don't have the right depth, like Nick Saban said, that's part of the transfer part of thing that, we lose depth when we lose players like that. And so you have to redevelop new players and this and that. I don't care how much talent you have. At the end of the day, you got to have experienced talent. You got to have players out there that want to, be, I say, good enough to carry the torch. And so I just wanted to say that. And, you can give me your comments on that. And I appreciate it and love your show, man. God bless.
Appreciate Alan X calling in right there. I agree. And this is the reason why Wednesday is going to be fun. Wednesday, National Signing Day, is going to be fun. This 2023 class, could there be some potential flips that come Alabama's way? We'll see. Will everybody that Alabama's been in contact with, will they all sign? We will see. Now, 6 of these names, they're already on campus participating in bowl prep. Those guys are offensive lineman Miles McVay, offensive lineman Wilkin Formby, offensive lineman Ryquez McElderry, defensive lineman Hunter Osborne, defensive back Brayson Hubbard, and quarterback Eli Holstein. But we'll wait till Wednesday to see this whole class kind of come together because this is the lifeblood of college football recruiting. But we grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, Stephen. Bill from New York. How you doing, man?
Doing great, Bill, and yourself?
We're good. I just want to say I have mixed emotions about Bryce and Will playing in the Sugar Bowl. See, I really care about these kids, and they did so much for us, and they're such good guys. I don't want to see them get hurt. And, I don't want to, really dig up any old wounds, but, when Tua got hurt, I think he was left in a little too much in that particular game. I didn't think you know what I mean? I want to see these guys like make them millions and everything like that. They're so good to us. And I get it. It's good for the program and everything. But yeah, I would have been just as happy to see like Jalen and Simpson battle it out for the job. You know what I mean, Stephen? Like, I don't know. I don't care about the outcome of this game. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to root for Alabama. You know, and I don't know. We got a lot to think about, like with this game. You know, especially with the quarterback battle. Got to tell you a little story, Stephen. I used to, before I was ever on this site, I was on this Facebook page, and the battle between Tua and Jalen turned into like a racial thing. And to me, I don't know, they looked about the same color to me, but it turned into like a bad thing, and I got off that page. I didn't want any part of it. Like, I wanted Bryce to start over Mac Jones. You know what I mean? I was wrong, but that's what I wanted. Like, you know, I leave it up to Saban to make those decisions. And, you know, what I want to see in this game the most, I hope they leave them in just for a couple of plays, maybe a quarter. I don't know. I just don't want to see them get hurt because I care about these guys. And I want to see Jamarian Miller. I want to see these great, talented guys we got coming in at outside linebacker, you know. And I want to see these quarterbacks battle it out, and I'll root for whoever's better, you know what I mean? I have a hunch it's going to be Simpson, but I don't know. Milroe has talent, like untold talent. That guy can run. I'm a Bills fan. He runs as good as Josh Allen. That guy is like unbelievable, like with run. But I don't know if he can pass. But we're going to find out. And you know, the thing is, it's all about us. It's all about Alabama. It's all about Roll Tide. And listen, you know. By the way, to give money, to give money tonight to your show. It wants me to sign in. And I tried on Facebook, on YouTube. It wants me to sign into Google. I never had to do that before. I don't know if that's going to hold up contributions tonight. I saw one person contributed, but that's what's happening here. And I just want to say, just in case, which I think I will, but in case I don't talk to you again, want to wish you personally a Merry Christmas, happy with your marriage and everything. It's so cool. And everyone on your staff, and every single listener and poster, want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and God bless. All right, brother?
Absolutely. Bill from New York calling in right there. And for me, I think you're going to have, I think Saban will have Bryce Young play a couple of series until at least one quarter. He'll get a couple of series until at least one quarter, and then Saban will pull Bryce out, thank him for everything, and then the second quarter through the second half, you'll see a lot of Milroe Simpson. And I think it'll be Milroe will get series, Simpson will get series, and then especially they'll both get series with the first team offense to see, okay, which guy does the team feel the most comfortable with and the most confident in. And Saban also talked about there will be quite a few young players. The Jamarian Millers, the Isaiah Bonds, the Kendrick Laws, the Shaz Prestons, the Kobe Prentices, the Jeremiah Alexanders. There'll be quite a few young players, the Sean Murphys, the Jahad Campbells. They're going to get shots in this game. They're going to get a lot of opportunities in this game because those are the guys that next spring and next season, it will be their time. So Anderson and Young, they'll play, but they won't play they won't play the whole game. There will be a point in the game, more than likely early on, Coach Saban will be like, all right, guys, that's enough, guys. Thank you for all that you've done for Bama. I'm going to take a seat right here. These young cats in here. But that's just how I see it. But Brian Watson with that $4.99 in the Super Chats. Appreciate that love there from Brian Watson helping us out on the show. Daily Super Chat go $100 there. Daily Super Chat going $100. We appreciate you guys getting this show to 50 likes right now. Smash the like button. Hit the like button on the show. Make this your show, your network platform to talk Bama football. Cool call topic here, Eli. One of the freshman receivers this year, signed a nice little NIL deal with Reebok, a Foot Locker. That'd be an Isaiah Bond. The Bond signing that NIL deal with Reebok. Bond had 214 receiving yards this past season, or this season right here. And with JoJo Earl, Christian Leary, Aaron Anderson, all new homes in college football, this is the guy in the slot now. Keep your eyes on him. This is the guy in the slot that starts, in my opinion, against Kansas State. Isaiah Bond could be his breakout Sugar Bowl performance. So just keep your eye on that 17 right there. Remember the 2014 Sugar Bowl of the 13 season where a freshman by the name of Derrick Henry broke out that game, and folks were like, "Oh, mama, that guy Henry gonna be special for years to come," and he became that way after a Sugar Bowl. Watch 17, Isaiah Bond. Yeah, that guy on screen there. Yeah, him. Watch him in this Sugar Bowl right here, in the slot. Could be another, one of those breakout freshman guys' performances right there. We're gonna take another break right here, folks, on the show. We get back, I get into my thoughts on this 2023 signing class. What has me excited about it. Hopefully these guys pan out well on the field. We'll talk about this signing class after this.
Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
All right, folks, we're in here, locked in from the break, hottest show on the streets, talking Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Continue hitting that like button. Give us that thumbs up on the show. Smash the like button. Daily Super Chat goal, $100. Daily Super Chat goal, $100 right there. Appreciate the support from you guys. Guitarzan with that $4.99 in the Super Chat, showing love there. Guitarzan helping us out right there on the show. And being Wednesday, it's Christmas for Alabama fans. National Signing Day, the early signing period. It all goes back to 2018. Where the NCAA thought they would split the signing that thing into two different periods. The early period, December, and the traditional period in February. Nick Saban didn't vibe with it the first time, but since then, boy, has he gotten better with it. Boy, has he mastered it since 2018. And this early signing period, which is on Wednesday, 2023 class, I mean, this class was already looking real good prior to now. But boy, the last few months, the last few weeks, Saban has been striking the iron hot. It's crazy how at 71 years of age, he's out here recruiting programs better than most 30 and 40-year-olds. At 71 years of age, it's incredible. I mean, I look at this class, this group hungry, passionate, focused, determined, a bunch of classy young men who've got one goal. We chasing rings. I mean, Alabama's had some strong recruiting classes to come through here. 2008 was bomb. Great class. Outstanding class. 2013 class gave Bama guys like Derrick Henry, Jonathan Allen, Tim Williams, Eddie Jackson. Those guys. Reuben Foster. Those guys. It's been some great classes to come through here. 2017 class gave you Tua, Najee, Judy, Ruggs, Smitty, that class. 18 class gave you Waddle, Patrick Surtain. 2020 class gave you Bryce Young and Will Anderson. 2012 class gave you Landon Collins, TJ Eldon. There's been some great classes to come through here. Some outstanding groups here. But This 2023 group, on paper, it could be something. It could be something insane on paper. We gotta have it transfer on the field. Yes, you gotta see it to believe it. Absolutely. Just on paper, this 2023 class that Saban about to bring in here, class has some shooters in here. Real shooters in this class right here on the football field. That being so, the position groups that I feel like Bama hit all of their needs in this class. They're on screen. Offensive line, wide receiver, defensive secondary, and linebacker. There are others, but I think these are the main four. Offensive line, wide receiver, defensive secondary, and linebacker. Speaking of offensive linemen, I know Alabama lost the kid, the Polito. I may be pronouncing his last name wrong, but they lost him, 3-star, decommitted to go to Arizona State. He's going back to the Pac-12, but I think that move was made for Bama to have room to possibly flip 5-star Caden Proctor from Iowa. This is the number 1 offensive tackle in this class. Great feet, tremendous athleticism, very good quickness, plays like a defensive lineman, though he's an offensive lineman. Guy's got potential All-American written on him, Caden Proctor. That's who Alabama's trying to flip here on Wednesday. But when you look at this O-line class prior to Proctor, potentially, Eli, you look at guys like O-line Sanganine. You got Miles McVay. You've got Wilkin Formby. You've got Raquez McElderry. I mean, you got dudes in this O-line class. Big dudes. Big grown men. 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". Grown men. They eat cornbread and collard greens. Grown men in this class. Probably the smallest guy in this O-line class is Raquez McElderry, who's 6'3". And he may be the most underrated guy in the class. Really like his game as a guard. So I'm just saying, this offensive line group, Bama's in a lot of needs here. And especially if you get Caden Proctor, just think about this, Eli, for a second here. You're going to return Seth McLaughlin as the starting center. So you already got key controls back in the middle in Seth McLaughlin. You're going to have J.C. Latham back, probably at left tackle. You have to move him to left tackle. You could take Tyler Booker, push him to right tackle, or Elijah Pritchett, who came in the 2022 class. You can make him right tackle. You could keep Tyler Booker at one of the guard spots. And then the other guard spot could be either one of these freshmen. Either one of these guys. So the O-line class hit a lot of needs. I like this offensive line class. They're about physicality. They're about toughness. They're about being nasty. They're about putting people on the ground. And I feel like Eric Wolford has his group in here. This is his group of linemen. He's got his class in here. So now you can kind of judge, is Wolford the guy or not? Because now he's got his class of offensive linemen in here. Now we can see, can he mold them? Can he develop them? What can he do with these guys? That's the offensive line. Number 2, I like the wide receivers in this class. I do. I like the receivers in this class. You got a JUCO guy in Malik Benson, Hutchinson Community College in Kansas. He lit it up in the JUCO ranks. Benson has the mindset of, I'm coming in here to win championships. I like Malik Benson's mindset. You got Jalen Hale, who's an absolute speed demon, flyer, up and down the field. I like Jalen Hale. A couple of other guys in this class also at wide receiver. But this group is coming in here with the mindset of, we're going after rings. We're chasing championships. Like this wide receiver class, you hit on some needs there, especially after losing, 4 guys to the transfer portal. You pick up 4 more guys. So Bama hit on some needs there. And the defensive secondary, this is where I'm the most excited. This defensive secondary is lethal. This defensive secondary got some talent. it's got to transfer on the field. They got some talent now. Got Caleb Downs, number one safety in the class. The last time you got the number one safety was Landon Collins in 2012. You got Caleb Downs. You got Jaleel Hurley, Florence High School, North Alabama. Kid's a baller. You got him. You got Tony Mitchell out of Thompson High School, Alabaster here in the Birmingham area. Can play corner, can play safety. You got Brayson Hubbard in this class, can play safety. I mean, you got some straight-up dogs in this defensive secondary. So, DB room, like this DB class. Really like this DB class all the way around. And then, to me, linebacker's the fourth one because you got Justin Jefferson, JUCO, like him. And he's trying to make some waves. He's going to make some waves. Now, you also got Jordan Renaud in this class who could play either defensive end or outside linebacker. You got Hunter Osborne in this class who can play defensive end or outside linebacker. We'll see where they transition to better at. But I like the Justin Jefferson kid as a linebacker. Really do. Now, of course, you got guys like Deontay Lawson already there. Kendrick Blackshire already there. Demoy Kennedy already there. You got guys like Sean Murphy already there. Jahad Campbell already there. And these are your inside backers. But I think Justin Jefferson could try to find him a spot in there. Like this kid. But this 2023 class, offensive line, wide receiver, defensive secondary, and linebacker are the four things I think Bama has hit on. They got two stud running backs, Richard Young and Justice Haynes, absolutely. You got both quarterbacks, Dylan Larnigan, Eli Holstein, absolutely. You got defensive linemen. Hopefully, if Alabama is to pursue the transfer portal, the rumor at tight end, Maryland's C.J. Dypre. Don't know if Alabama ends up getting him, but that's just the rumor out there. But 2023 class, I love it. Right now, we'll see how it all shakes out on Wednesday. Go to another break right here, folks, on the show, and touch that dial. When we return, we get back to the phone lines, grabbing your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. We talk to you, the Bama fans, right after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whit Will Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwillsports.com and get your Title Towel today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
All right, folks, we're back into the action from the break. Hottest show right here in the streets, talking Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Got to shout out my man Bill from New York with that $5 donation in the Super Chats. Appreciate my man Big Bill there. And then we got Aaron McGuire with that $2 donation, dropping that love in the bucket right there as well. That daily Super Chat go $100. Ben Franklin, $100 right there daily Super Chat go. Appreciate the support coming from you. Continue also, hit that like button, give us a thumbs up right there on the show. Make this your network here to talk Bama football. We go to the phone lines to grab your calls. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, let your voice be made known, 205-448-1358. We grab this call, you'll have on the show. What's happening, how we feeling, state your name, and where you calling from.
Hey, Steven, this is Tobias out of Phoenix, Arizona. How's it going?
Doing great, Tobias, and yourself.
Good, good, good. Besides the fact I just paid $8 for a dozen eggs, I'm doing all right. Uh,
You know what?
But
You know what, Tobias? That inflation will get us every time.
I know. But man, like, first before I talk about Bryce and Will, I think sometimes with the transfer portal, I think like players from Bama, they got the Bama bump for being at Bama, but many low like the FCS or the Group of Five, they might want to be careful because sometimes if you have a spot, you might want to hang out there because there's a lot of kids who don't get picked up. Uh, but when it comes to Bryce and Will, I don't think it's a precedent for college football overall. I think it may be a precedent for Alabama, and because I remember like the Last Dance, that Jordan documentary. And when he came back out of retirement, he saw like players like Steve Kerr and was like they won championships. And he was like, "Y'all didn't win nothing here. Y'all won here." And I think that may be a much needed culture reset because you remember COVID did a number, not just on games played, but recruiting where you couldn't really meet these players, talk to them face to face, man to man. Everything was on Zoom. So now you look at these recruits also coming in, you see how hungry they are. You see how they talking. Even the JUCO guys, see how they talking. And I think being able to go on campus, be face to face with the coaches, people can get a feel for you. I think this class may be pretty good productive wise. And sometimes the transfer portal may be a weeding out process also.
I can see that too. I mean, I can see that because going back to your point, Tobias, on the COVID pandemic that happened in 2020, you were not able to talk to these young men face to face. You weren't able to have practices. You weren't able to have those interpersonal communications. Everything was done virtually. And it's hard to get a gauge on a young man. It's hard to get a gauge on an athlete when you're not sitting in their living room. You're not sitting with their parent. You're not in that guy's space and his airspace right there with him. So it's tough to really get a mental read on, okay, does this guy fit the magnitude of our program? Does this guy fit the culture of what we're about? Because I'm not able to really understand or gauge his mindset due to I'm seeing him on Zoom versus prior to COVID, I was actually seeing this guy in person, and I could get a better feel for, okay, who is he character-wise?
Yeah, and one thing also, back to like what Bryce and Will, people say injury, a lot, if you pay attention to the NFL preseason, look how many guys get injured in training camp doing drills. There's a kid, I think his name is B.J. Ojulari, I think that's the kid's name, was at Michigan last year, tore his Achilles at his pro day. So I think that, getting hurt, that should be like what every player wants to do. Because if Bryce and Will got hurt against Auburn their last game of the year, would that change anything? But I think it's a good precedent for the younger guys coming up. Because people got to remember, schools like Alabama, they're getting 4 or 5 star guys, top 300 guys who were the man ever since they were probably in 9th grade. And I think that could, like, when they get in, I think they let Bill O'Brien go and when his contract runs out next month. But you get somebody else in there that you need guys setting the culture, and you got the guys now like a Ty Simpson or Jalen Milroe, which I think it should be Ty Simpson, where you could they got a standard to set, kind of like the Baltimore Ravens. They still got a standard set since when they won that Super Bowl with Ray Lewis. You got a standard. You got a culture set. And I think that will bode well in the future with Alabama.
I think it will. And I appreciate exactly what Bryce Young and Will Anderson had to say there today in terms of wanting to be there with the teammates, with the brothers, with the players out there to give them their best in their last game on the field, give the fan base their best in the last time that we as fans see both of these two, and then give the coaching staff, one more look at them before they transition off to the NFL. But I appreciate Tobias there from Phoenix, Arizona, giving us that call here on the show. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. We grabbed this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
What's up, Steven? It's your boy, Coach Smoot, man. How's it going?
Doing good, man. Getting myself prepared here. Well, I'm already prepared here, but I'm set now to get this Christmas with all the family here.
Hey, I could definitely feel you on that, man. This will be my first Christmas away from the South in a while, man. So me and my family kind of excited. And it's a different season, different year this year, being that we're not getting ready for the playoffs. Things are transitioning, to the next chapter. But just listening to the content and the phone calls that's been coming in, man, I'm still stuck in the middle with how I feel about Bryce and Will's decision, man. I understand it's a good precedence for leadership, but my prayer is that they come out there and with all the guys playing, it's a smooth game, man, to where we could see. In years past, we've always seen like a handoff moment in key positions. The defensive leader. Anytime we were, winning in big games, you always saw the substitutions happen, and you get to get a glimpse of the next up guys. And I think that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited to see coming up here against Kansas State next week. Just that transitional moment. I feel like with the amount of time we have to prepare for Kansas State, the amount of talent that we have, and just getting guys back healthy and seeing that energy. Like I'm saying, I'm seeing a different energy from these guys. Even with guys leaving, a lot of the drama that we thought we were having this year around these guys, not getting playing time. A lot of those same guys are leaving, and we don't know what's going on inside the locker room. We don't know if it's because Bill O'Brien is still there. We don't know. We don't know if it's because of the guys coming in with that hunger and this energy that they coming for whatever. We don't know if that's playing a part. Whatever it is, we just hope that whoever we have left that's dedicated to Bama is ready to show up and play against Kansas State, and then just ready to prove themselves again, as the spring practices come in. But one thing in particular that I did want to address, Steven, is the quarterback situation. I think people are still sleeping on Jalen Milroe based off of what he did this season. Everybody likes to talk about his turnover problems, but nobody likes to address that he literally led us to victory against Texas A&M. He led us to a win against Arkansas. That game could have easily went the opposite way. The guy played in two tough environments and really came out on the top end with, minimal experience. He didn't have a lot of stats last year, so coming into this year, he was just like, Tua in the past, just like Bryce in the past, just like Mac Jones in the past. Those games are always, their first initial games as a starter always seem shaky. But you go with you top that with just not having a scheme that fit his skill set, that really hindered him. And so I think a lot of people's outlook on Jalen Milroe is clouded. You got a guy, one of the fastest players on the team with the strongest arm in the quarterback room right now, and then possibly, with a little bit more growth, this guy could really be a deep ball threat, because of how strong his arm is. We get that accuracy on point. And his ability to throw guys open, start working that towards his advantage. Jalen Milroe is probably going to be the next best thing we've seen, So I think we should have just pumped the brakes on pushing Ty Simpson out there, because it's a lot of things Ty Simpson did that scares me if the ball was put in his hands. His footwork is still inconsistent. He has a great arm. And guys who aren't athletic, such as Milroe, in the pocket, outside of the pocket, they tend to rely on their arm too much and don't work their mechanics. And so we get both of those guys come back working their mechanics from the bottom up. I think we have a good QB battle, but Milroe with the athleticism definitely gets the nod. And I think we need to really respect that. Don't judge it off of 2 games. You know, this guy really comes out and gets thrown into situations that really don't fit his skill set. So yeah, man, that's all I had to say. And like I said, Steven, you always know I'm always here for TDA, man. Roll Tide. Y'all keep pushing out the content. I'm gonna keep on rocking with you, man. Roll Tide.
Appreciate my man Coach Smook calling in, and that's that's one of the things this offseason is. Bill O'Brien's contract runs out as of February 28th of next year. Who does Alabama get as the new offensive coordinator? That's the question. Because whoever Alabama brings in, can they pull a whole lot out of Jalen Milroe? Because as Coach Smook mentioned, he's right. Milroe's got incredible talent, incredible athleticism, superior strength. He does have a rocket of an arm. Can he be able to get the accuracy intact? Because if he can get the accuracy intact, he's scary. He is very scary, potentially, as a full package quarterback here. But a lot of this starts off with O'Brien's contract runs out. Say Alabama does not renew that. And a lot of U.S. fans are kind of hoping that. But say Nick Saban does not renew that. Who gets the first phone call, or who is being called, to assume that role of offensive play caller? But we grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Steve, this is Jay from Florence.
What's going on, Jay?
Chilling, man. I want Chip Long. I think at Tulane or whatever. But I want Chip Long, man, the offensive coordinator.
And Jay, it's crazy you say his name, because people have been talking about Chip Long at Alabama for some years now.
It's crazy that it ain't happened, because ain't he from Alabama? And the man been putting up numbers,
I'm just saying, like, people have been lumping in Chip Long's name in these offensive coordinator conversations for Alabama for the last, 5 years now?
So we're gonna be the perfect time to go and make that happen, man. That man there, he dedicated. I think he'll be there for the next 10 years in the same position. He ready. The man want the job. Man, get it to him, man. And I don't know, man. I want to shoot for the stars for a defensive coordinator if they let P go. But I want somebody like D'Amico Ryans or something like that. But that's just a dream, Steve.
It is a dream, Jay. But if Coach Saban can make this phone call and offer D'Amico the house, make the call, offer D'Amico the house. The worst he can. The worst he can do is say no.
What other call to have Saban on the line and Freddie Roach? They just come on home. Just a couple years, brother. Just come on back.
I'm just saying. Freddie and D'Amico played together. That may be all that Freddie need. Bring his buddy back home.
Man, what? That's my child, Steve. Ooh, Steve. I'm sorry, man. You bringing back that old Bama. Then that's that old Bama. Well, you knew coming across that field, that middle linebacker he was finna send you out of the game. You was losing some wins. But man, thank Bryce and Will. That's real. They real for that, man. But as a coach, you got to go and get them up out of there, Nick. Everybody is going to the league, man. We got to think about it in terms of helping the player for real. Now, okay, we gonna give y'all a quarter. Shit, end of the quarter is 14-7. Thank y'all. Y'all got us a 7-point lead. I love y'all. Go and do your thing in the league, guys. Everybody that want to go pro you out. We on the next one, man. Christian Story, I want to see you. Let's see how you defend the middle of the field back here. You see what I'm saying, Steve? Like, it's people that's been sitting on the bench for a while now that we've been wanting to see. But
Absolutely.
You've been keeping all these guys like Helms and Jordan Battle, no knock to them, but when Coach Smook said the passing of the torch, the handoff, bro, that was just a whole rotation thing though. It's like we had a better rotation back then. Like you knew you might see Rashawn Evans for a couple spot plays, But when he get his turn, he ready. Cause why? He got those couple spot plays. Yeah, we done kind of got away from that too, but I don't know, Steve. Man, we got to get back, man. I've been saying it every call. This offseason got to set us up for the rest of the decade, man. It should be that simple, man. Roll Tide, I love y'all, man.
Appreciate Jay from Florence calling in. You know what, Eli? We're going to have a best of calls to in my own words. We already got the best of Uncle Charles. We already got the best of Uncle Charles calls. We got that in pocket. Next, we have to have the best of Jay from Florence with we got to get back to sit. We got to get this thing back to having us good, Bama good for the rest of the decade. So we got to get the Jay from Sheffield, the public announcement to Coach Saban, be a Jay from Sheffield. Yeah, Jay from Florence. So the public announcement, Jay, having the best of Uncle Charles, which we already got that kind of in the pipeline right there. I'm going to be hyped when that come out. Charles had me crying laughing on Ivy's calls. Especially the one about the squirrel in the power line. A couple of the cockroaches going wild. Sometimes I wonder, we talking sports or National Geographic? But I mean, we can do both. We can do both. Anyway, cool call topic right here. Tua Tagovailoa, folks. The Dolphins took a loss on Saturday to the Bills, 32-29 in the snow. Tua played well. I mean, played pretty decent. 17 of 30, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Guys dropped some wide open passes out there. Tyreek Hill on Twitter, he said, Dolphin Nation, that was my worst game. I will never have that again. But there was some drop passes out there. Miami is 8-6. 14 games in, 3 games to go in the regular season. The Dolphins right now have the 6th spot in the AFC playoff picture, the 2nd and final wild card spot. You got your 4 number 1 seeds and your 2 wild cards. Dolphins have the 2nd of 2 wild card spots. Can Tua and Miami hang on? Can they win out? Which if they win out, they would end the year at 11-6. Can they win out and hold on to that 2nd wild card spot in terms of the playoffs? Which would be huge for Tua because he would get there in his 3rd season, 2nd as a starting quarterback in the pros. Hopefully Tua can get that done. We take our final break here, folks, in the show. When we get back, we'll discuss the biggest matchup for the Sugar Bowl, and it has nothing to do with the player. We'll talk about that after this.
Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, we're back into the action from the break. Hottest show on the streets, talking Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA, got the man Eli Walker in the production studio. Here to hit that like button. Smash that like button. Give us a thumbs up on the show. Like the show. Appreciate the support coming from you guys at Daily. Super Chat Go, $100 daily. Super Chat Go, $100 right there. Thanks to all of you making this your show, your network platform channel space. We talk Tide football. You got to check out the Bama Standard tomorrow with Justin Riley, comedy legend Steve Brown, all SEC linebacker, and former Bama legend Marvin Constant, 2-time national championship running back, USFL champion Bo Scarborough. The Bama Standard, tomorrow, streaming live right here. TDA YouTube channel with all the Bama legends, the fun, the comedy, the excitement. Bama Standard. Check those guys out there. But in the biggest matchup here in the Sugar Bowl between Alabama and Kansas State, and it doesn't even involve a coach. Not a coach, but a player. Biggest matchup to me comes down to two coaches, two coordinators. Collin Klein, offensive coordinator for Kansas State, versus Pete Golding, defensive coordinator for Alabama. This is the biggest matchup of the Sugar Bowl. Collin Klein, Pete Golding. Collin Klein, who played quarterback at Kansas State, former Heisman finalist, now the OC for the Wildcats, for Chris Kleiman's team. And Collin Klein, boy, has he done well as the OC of the Wildcats. The team that Big 12 champions, taking care of TCU. Collin Klein is one that will attack Alabama's perimeter, Alabama's edge defense. He will attack it with a lot of creativity. A lot of zone reads, a lot of jet sweeps, a lot of misdirections, a lot of pop passes, a lot of end-around stuff, eye candy. He's going to try to stretch Alabama's defense out and attack it. Kansas State doesn't have just this over-the-top passing game. Got a good quarterback, it's got a good passing game, it's got some good receivers, but it's not just this elite over-the-top passing game. Got a great running back. Deuce Vaughn, I think he's over 1,400 yards rushing, if I'm not mistaken. Deuce Vaughn's a big-time back at 5'6". Can run, explosive, quick feet, big bursts, quick cuts, built low, bounce off tackles, bowling ball. Deuce Vaughn can play. Kansas State's got a physical offensive line. They want to move you off the football. Defensively, they're scrappy. They get after you. They play tough. They play hard-nosed. This is an old-fashioned beat-you-up type of football team. That's Kansas State. Chris Kleiman has taken the blueprint that Bill Snyder had all these years in Manhattan and continues to fine-tune it. And as the OC, Collin Klein, doing a very fine job with this passing offense. Kansas State, I believe, had 9 games this year where they scored 30 or more points, including 5 40-point games. So K-State can score the football. They can score. They're not known for being, an elite offense, but they find different ways to score. And that's because of the creativity of Collin Klein and how he dials up everything. So for Pete Golding, he's going to have his A game. Got to. So many times this season, players look lost out there on the field defensively. I go back to Tennessee. Adjustments should have been made after Jalen Hyatt caught the first touchdown, and adjustments were not made. And 4 touchdowns later, Bama loses the game 52-49. And then you go to the LSU game, and adjustments were not made. Now, I understand the players have to execute. Yes, they do. They do. But the coaching staff, and in this case, Pete Golding, you got to scheme up a defense where these guys feel confident about what you're calling and what you have them doing. He's got to have his A game here in this matchup against Kansas State, because the Wildcats are coming into this matchup with absolutely nothing to lose. Nothing to lose, a lot to gain. With Chris Kleiman and Collin Klein running this the show here. Gonna be fun, people. Gonna be fun to watch that unfold. Shout out my man Daniel Chambers with that $5 donation. Dropping that love in the bucket. Appreciate Daniel Chambers helping us out there. As always, Tide Nation, you want the best in news, notes, information, and coverage on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You download the app from your iPhone App Store. If you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. Now for your audio needs, check us out. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll be back Wednesday, continuing the conversation that is Tide football, but also Wednesday morning. Yours truly and the man Justin Smith, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for TDA. We got the National Signing Day show. Be here bright and early. We run down all recruits given their national letter of intent to the Crimson Tide. You can purchase individual copies, people, of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Have those sent to your door. That link found in the description. Trying to get the fresh edition, print edition of TDA the magazine, you go. TouchdownAlabama.com. Click join. Become a member or a subscriber today. Guys, shout out my man Eli Walker in the production studio. Doing his thing, helping us out here on this evening. Guys, shout out you guys, the incredible fans of Bama football. All the conversation, super chats, phone calls, likes on the show. Doing what you do to make this the number one forum here for Crimson Tide football. As always, people, as we get ready to wrap this thing up, remember that Christmas this weekend. Everybody enjoy your Christmas holiday season. Your family, with your friends. Enjoy that. Be around each other. Love on each other. Appreciate each other. Till next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives, appreciate, value those husbands. Children, you guys continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing to not be bored there. You get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. Protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and you've been listening to Them Own Words.